Heyo everyone, it's AJ, and today is Monday. And you know what that means. It's Manga Monday! Yeah! So, today I'm bringing you a nice little new series that I found this last month, and I just absolutely adore it. And it took me ages to actually find out if it was just a one volume or if it actually does have more potential volumes to come out. And the series in question is Box of Light. And I will not lie to you, the reason why I picked this up is in the bookshop, literally from the side, there is a tiny little demon cat on the side. And I'm like, I am going to look at this. Also, there is a somewhat purple variant gradient on it. So I'm going to look because it's purple and it's got a cat on it. So I'm looking at it. And upon reading on the back, it gave me major Welcome to Nightvale feels, and I was like, oh yes, I'm going to love this, because I used to love that, like, when it first started, like, all those many moons ago. Oh my god, that's like a decade old. Oh my god. Anyway, also, look how pretty this is. I love it. So it's written by Seiko Irasawa, and there is a second volume. It took me ages to find. I literally basically had to end up going onto Japanese websites to find out there's a second volume, because I just simply love this. It's basically lots of many little stories. Every chapter is just a separate kind of story, all revolving around this little convenience store that happens to be in between the worlds of life and death. So if you're on the brink of death, you can potentially go visit this convenience store, and hopefully you can come out of it either alive or passing on to your new life in the afterlife. And basically it's just about Falls, the main character, which is Kokoro, and he basically almost died himself, literally about to get impaled, which is a very fun fact to find out in like the third chapter. And just before he gets impaled, he's literally in the air, hovering, time has kind of stopped, and here comes this floating lassie being, "Hi, I'm the manager. If you work for me, I will make sure that you live, and just during night time, you need to come work in my convenience store in the bridges between life and death." So, obviously, as any kind of student does, basically a young person wanting to live the rest of their life just goes, you know what, yeah, I'll work, I don't want to get impaled and die. So yeah, there we go. So Kokoro now works at this convenience store, which is very fun. So it is like inhabited by like wee things called darkness, and they kind of take forms. And basically, as part of his duties of running the convenience store, in which people can buy like the last things they want, kind of also has to make sure it's clean so that darkness doesn't come and eat the customers. And so he basically needs to fight off little creatures and whatnot, which is all great and handy. And getting to the point, there is a cute ass cat. Well, there's a darkness, but then turns into a cat, and basically they try and train it to be like a cat. Like, I am sold. Like, it's so adorable. It's got like one wee eye and it acts like a cat. And then, because it doesn't really know what a cat is, because animals don't come into the afterlife, well, in this wee shop anyway, like, it goes like really big sometimes, and like literally like building size, and just like steps on people and whatnot. And it's just like, can you train the cat to be a cat? And he also has another co-worker called Tahini, and he's not a human like whatsoever, and basically he's like a doctor, like doing research on like humanoid like behaviour and whatnot, so basically doing a study and whatnot. And he's the one that's taking in this darkness and making it his cat. And it's just so funny. It's kind of like, you know how it's like some people are like, oh no, I'm not a cat person, like maybe within your family, but then when you get the cat, like they love it so much. It kind of gives that kind of feeling. It's like, do I want this? And it's like, maybe I don't want a pet. And then it's like, no, my pet is everything. Because one of the chapters is they basically get threatened of losing their jobs. They literally get let go. And Kokura basically goes, hey, Tahini, if you get moved to another place, because he was like, oh, well, I don't mind about losing like this job at the convenience store. I'll get moved to a restaurant, like in a other part in this wee middle ground. And he's like, but you can't take the cat with you because you can't have animals in in a restaurant. And that's how he's like, nope, right, we need to go fighting this. We need to fight against this. So that one's a wee bit silly and like that chapter, but most of the chapters are like semi-serious because it deals with obviously death, and you get to see all these kind of people come in and like how it leads to them potentially passing, and some of them are really sad. Like they are they're upsetting in a way, but kind of as the book's called, like A Box of Light, they kind of bring a little bit of hope around it and try and lighten it off. Like, not every kind of main person that comes into the convenience store, like, dies. However, it's still emotional for the stories for why they've reached that convenience store. And I feel like they handle it quite well. Some of the reasons for why some of them end up there is a wee bit darker, and I don't really want to kind of talk about it in this video. Mostly I want to just kind of talk about the niceness of it. So I would suggest maybe looking it up if you're sensitive to things that are related to death. I will just say that. However, I feel like it is a good read. And like I said, they're all just kind of wee contained stories. Some of them kind of pass on like and fall through into other chapters. So some characters that you meet early on like appear in like the following chapters and whatnot. Through Kokura we get obviously the human perspective of why the people end up there, because manager isn't human and Tahini isn't human, so they're not really kind of clued in completely about why people end up there, hence why that's their job, and Tahini's obviously researching it. But see, when people that Kukura like knows and comes into the shop, it's interesting because although he knows them in real life, because he still goes about his day like during the day, like he goes to college, he gets his degree and all of that kind of jazz and works, and then obviously then at night time basically works at this convenience store. And as part of how the kind of mini void bit works is that they don't know like him at all. So there's a story in which like one of his professors from uni ends up in the convenience store, and Kokoro is like in a whole big panic, and obviously he's trying to help him and whatnot. He's like, oh wait, like if you get this you'll pass on, and he obviously doesn't want that. And when he shifts over, he goes to make sure he's okay and whatnot, and it's kind of like, wait, how did you know that something wasn't right? And he's just like, oh, I had a gut feeling. It wasn't that I seen him at my job. And there's another story that's involves one of his neighbours, and it's kind of the same kind of thing in which like he feels like compassion towards the person, and through his human experiences and dealing with people and whatnot, he actually is able to help the neighbour that comes in, because they end up getting consumed by a darkness, and then the darkness basically kind of grows because they've ate the neighbour. But Kokura is basically able to get through to them because he knows the person, just like, hey, like, let's just talk things out, just listen, here's a wee coffee, and then that helps. So it's quite a human story at its core, despite it sounding like it's potentially like a very depressing subject matter. But one of the things that I really liked at the end, like at the very end of the first volume, Tahini and Kokura are at the top of the shop, just kind of having a wee break, like they're having their work break, and they're just talking about like work, and like obviously with the people coming in and because this is not long after him helping his neighbour. And Tahini starts talking about all those other people that are like across the way. And Kokoro's like, what do you mean? Like, it's just us. Like, there's only this wee shop. And Tahini goes, oh yes, human eyes are weak as fuck. Basically. Picks up his wee cat, his wee darkness cat, and goes, right, clicks on the cat so that it, like, through its one eyeball, illuminates, like, the other side of the road. And there's a bookshop. And he makes a good point in that not everyone is going to want to go get food or whatnot as their last thing, like, consciously and whatnot. There's going to be other things that people take comfort in. And I just really liked the fact that the bookstore was shown, because I'm just thinking, yeah, I would kind of like to go to a bookstore. There's just something nice about bookshops that are just kind of comforting. And it's just nice that they show that, hey, it's not just always going to be a convenience store, like, on the pathway. It's like, you can go, like, any other way. So, like, any shop could be there. Like, even just, like, if it's, like, a wee cafe, there's probably, like, a cute little cafe. Or, like, a gaming shop, or whatever. Like, maybe even, like, there might be even a wee cinema. Oh, a wee cinema. You go and see a wee film, and then that's it. You go and get to watch, like, your favourite film, like, one last time. No, that just made it kind of depressing. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to make it depressing. I was just kind of like, oh, here's a nice wee idea. And I'm like, oh, no, that's quite sad. Oh, but, yeah. I just wanted to kind of point this out because it's obviously it's a new kind of series. It came out in July. It's taken me a wee bit to kind of bring it up, but I thought it was just something kind of different, and I just really enjoyed it. Like, as soon as I picked it up and I read it, I was just like, oh my god, I am obsessed with this. And I just love the kind of weird oddness about it. Like I said, it gave me like Welcome to Nightvale vibes, and it's just the kind of odd spookiness things that just happen, but they're just considered normal. Like, it's just an everyday normal life, and I just love that. That's a genre I love. So if you know other things like this, tell me, because I fucking love that kind of stuff. Obviously. So, but yeah, so there we go. Something slightly different from Manga Monday. Just brand new series, just to kind of let you guys know. Especially because I just love it. Also, it's pretty. Like, how can you go wrong with something that looks so nice? And there's demon cats. You know how much I love little spooky cats. There is so many, like, cat mangas that are coming out, by the way, in the next few months that are on my wish list. And so there's going to be a lot of cat manga appearing. I'm not going to lie, because obviously I had Cat Plus Gamer. And obviously then talking about this that has cats, even though the cat's not the focus of it. And there's like, I think I've got 3 other manga that's like revolved around cats within like for the rest of the year. I think I've got like 3 or something like that. So, lots of cats. But anyway, so that's another little Manga Monday for us for today. And let me know down below, are you interested? Have you picked up yourself? And is there anything else that you think is kind of similar that you think I might like? Let me know, because obviously I like stuff. But anyway, until next time, I'm AJ, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.